What's going on, guys? My name is Corrupt, and today I'm bringing you guys my Town Hall 10 Queen Charge Lavaloon attack strategy guide. This guide is going to teach you everything that you guys need to know about the Queen Charge Lavaloon before you actually start using it. Now, this attack strategy is pretty simple to do, however, it is definitely difficult to master, so definitely listen to all the tips I have for you guys because it will help you learn and master this attack just that tad bit better. Now, usually with this attack, you're obviously going in with the Queen Charge, and there's multiple different ways of doing so. One way is by either using a jump or an earthquake or even some wall breakers. Another way is using the stone slammer to break the queen in, and another way is actually using the wall wrecker itself to actually break open into the wall and get a little bit more value with whatever's in there, like Valkyries or bowlers or whatever is in that wall wrecker. So it's something to keep in mind. Again, you guys can be really creative with how you guys do this attack. It's a very flexible one. And what's also flexible is the number of loons and the number of hounds you bring. Now, as we start to get into how you guys can do the Lavaloon portion, we're also going to talk about the number of loons that you're going to need in order to destroy certain defenses in one shot. It's usually a good thing to know this because usually when you're starting to send in your Lavaloon, it's pretty critical that you know how many loons can actually one-shot defenses from the outside. Mainly, the defenses you'll see out there are mortars, cannons, archer towers, and Teslas. Sometimes you may see an Expo or a Wizard Tower out there, but sometimes you're going to have your loons split, which means that you need to know the exact number of loons that in order to take out that specific structure. Now, don't forget that the balloons also do death damage, which means that they should be able to take out a building with one less loon if they die by their death damage. So it's something to keep in mind when you guys are doing this. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is the key objectives. So when you guys are using this attack, you really want to look for any air targeting defenses such as Teslas, archer towers, air defenses, wizard towers, multi-infernos, air sweepers. Those are really critical. And then what you're also looking for is the enemy CC and enemy queen. If you see a lot of damage CCs like baby dragons in them or dragons, or even if you see an electro dragon, this should be able to deal with it just fine. Now remember, some people may bring a lava hound CC. Usually how you have to deal with those is usually bringing in a couple minions to protect your healers, especially after the hound pops. So it's something to keep in mind when you guys are using this attack strategy. But the next thing is once you've actually gotten the key objectives, or at least as far as you know what you're looking for in terms of your Lavaloon, and you know exactly where you're going to be going in with your Queen Charge, it's now time to learn the number of loons that you're going to need. So on the screen, you're going to see the exact number of loons that you're going to need in order to one-shot specific structures from the outside, and then as you start to move into the base. Usually you're going to have a large group of them going in, so it's a good idea to just, at least refresh your mind and even know these, because, for instance, the loons may split, which then could cause you to actually get some of the loons to actually go off onto their own, but still one-shot certain structures. So, for instance, if 5 loons go over to an Expo, they'll be able to one-shot that. But if only 4 go to the Expo, it's going to take 1 death damage in order to take that out. So it's something to keep in mind when you guys are doing this attack. But the other thing is you want to try and keep your king away from the queen as possible. It's really, really important that the king is used to set the funnel and not to be sent in with the Queen Charge. You want the Queen Charge, you want the healers on the queen only, not the king. Because if that happens and then your queen has to pop her ability all of a sudden really early on in the raid, one, you don't have the ability, which means you have nothing to save yourself on, especially if you're low on healers. So it's something to keep in mind when you guys are doing that. So as you're starting to move in, then you can basically, use that ability whenever necessary. Sometimes it's not going to be for the entire raid. Sometimes it will be towards the beginning. Sometimes it'll be somewhere in the middle. You may have to pop it when you're fighting against the queen, expos, a cannon archer tower pointing at you. I know there's a lot, that's a lot, but just consider the fact that, sometimes there's a lot of heavy DPS and the queen all hitting your queen. So you really want to make sure that you pop her ability only if it's absolutely necessary. When the healers can't support that queen over the damage enough, that is when you would use it. So you really want to make sure that you guys really take a mindset, or if you're just going to use it in order to speed up the cleanup, that's another thing. Now, when you guys are going in with your Lavaloon, you're either going to be starting off with your Hound, or you're going to be starting off with a Stone Slammer. Now, if you are bringing in the wall wrecker, you're just going to look for the opposite area of the town hall, and that should be able to get you in and try and get some sort of value by opening up those compartments. Now, if you're using a Stone Slammer, that is, you can either use it to get the queen into the base, which is not a bad idea if you decide not to bring wall breakers or earthquake or jump. But the other thing is that if you're using one Hound, it's a good idea to actually use the Stone Slammer to basically be used as a Lava Hound going in. So something to keep in mind, because if you're only bringing one Hound, then most likely you're going to be using the Stone Slammer as a Hound, and then you're going to use the other Hound, to tank for the air defense. So you really want to make sure that you really kind of take a look at that. Usually, you're trying to take a look at if you can get at least 2 air defenses with your Queen Charge if you're going to use one Hound, and then 2 Hounds, I would say, you're looking for at least 1 air defense. If you get 2, that's even better, but usually you're looking for 2 if you're only going to use 1 Lava Hound, but then 2 if you're mainly looking for 1 air defense if you're going to use 2 Hounds. So something to keep in mind. But remember, key objectives stay the same, and then as you go through, using the haste spells to get the loons into the base, and if you have any leftover hastes to go in, you want to keep them sped up as they go through the base. And then also you want to make sure that you use your rage spells with the Queen Charge, because if that Queen Charge does fall, you really want to make sure that the rage spells are there to really keep that queen alive. Healers under rage are perfect, and that is exactly why the Queen Charge does so well with this, is the rage really helps them go through. Now, another thing that you could bring is heal. Sometimes you can bring it, sometimes you won't, mainly because you don't have enough spell space, especially if you're using Quad Quake. So something to keep in mind is, do I want to use a heal spell? Heals are really good because, 1, they're able to heal up your loons, especially when you don't have any more tanks. It's usually a good idea and something to keep in mind. Other times you may not want to bring it because you may be very confident that your queen will actually target the 3rd air defense, and once you've actually started your Lalo, you've already taken down that 4th air defense, which means you're able to go right through the base pretty easy with your loons and max loons from the Stone Slammer as they go in. So again, it's up to you. I would say bringing a heal spell with your Lavaloon is really, really good. It's probably something that's worth using, but it's definitely up to you. And then the other thing is Quad Quake, and I forgot to mention this, but remember, Quad Quake is extremely strong in the current meta, mainly due to the fact that it can open up to 10 tiles of walls. Now, at Town Hall 10, you're obviously going to be roughly opening about 9 to 10 layers of walls. And what I mean by that is tiles. So in the tile width. So usually you're going to be able to open a large amount of walls from than before. So you really want to make sure that you take advantage of that Quad Quake if you plan on using it. And it's definitely something to keep in mind. And again, you're going to bring some other troops for cleanup. You're also going to bring in some troops like Hogs to either lure out a CC or help take out some defenses on the back end. Again, it's up to you on exactly how you guys want to do this. But then as you guys send in your Lavaloon, you really want to make sure that you keep them hasted as you go through the base. And then you also want to make sure that you either use a heal spell when necessary, like on the back end, or if you're charging into a multi-inferno, or you can use a freeze, which is sometimes a good idea to either use on the Queen Charge side or even on a multi-inferno, so that then it stops hitting your loons for a few seconds, and then your loons can get to it just fine without, dealing with bringing in a heal or anything like that. So something to keep in mind when you guys are using this attack. But other than that, I don't think I missed anything, and hopefully this really helps you guys understand this a little bit more, going over all the number of loons that you're going to need, how you guys can do your Lavaloon portion, and the key objectives that you're looking for with your Queen Charge, along with the spells, and also how many loons and hounds you would bring. So hopefully you guys did enjoy, and if you guys did, leave a like, subscribe for more of my content, and turn on notifications so you guys don't miss an upload. Also, if you guys want to go ahead, leave a comment and tell me if you guys want to see more videos like this, and if you guys want to see actually another video, another Lavaloon video here for Town Hall 10, so that then you guys can master the Lavaloon attack strategy. But with that being said, guys, I hope you guys did enjoy. Why not go ahead and follow me on Twitter, and also go ahead and join my Discord server and the Extra Humanity Family Discord. All three links are in the description below, and I'll be seeing you guys next time. Corrupt, signing out.